Hi, this is William Smith from CX Today, bringing you all the latest customer experience industry news. Today I'm joined by Jamie Brighton, Head of Product Marketing EMEA at Adobe Experience Cloud, and we're going to find out a little bit about customer experience in retail. Jamie, welcome. I wonder if you could just tell me a little bit about yourself and your role at Adobe.
Absolutely. It's great to be here. Thanks for having me on the session today, Will. Director of Product Marketing for the Adobe Experience Cloud in Europe, Middle East and Africa. I came to Adobe through the acquisition of a web analytics firm, Omniture, back in 2009. I've been in the digital marketing space for over 20 years now. I guess before it was really called digital marketing, and certainly before this category of customer experience management that we sort of find ourselves in was defined. At Adobe, my team owns the regional product strategy for the digital experience business at Adobe, which is a big part of our portfolio, along with Creative Cloud and the document tools that we provide.
And I wonder, in your opinion, why is personalization kind of so important for retailers?
So I think people have been taking personalization a little bit for granted for a while. Certainly, we've been talking about this concept of a personalization gap, a gap between consumer expectations and what retailers, often it's retailers who are kind of brought up on this, are actually offering in terms of that personalized experience. And it's very easy to fall back on kind of stats when you talk about these things. But certainly, there's a lot of research out there. 60% of consumers do want real-time and in-store offers. But 70% of them see personalization that they receive today as being superficial, simply remembering their name, irrelevant kind of use of the data that they're providing. And the gap comes because I think that only 5% of surveyed marketers and retail brands felt that they had an extensive personalization program in place. So there's a real gap here between what consumers are telling us they want from their experience with the brand and what the brand is actually delivering through the platforms that they have.
I wonder if you could explain a little bit about some of the new features in the Adobe Experience Cloud and how they kind of help retailers.
Sure. So, I guess to level set, the Experience Cloud is Adobe's customer experience management technology offering, AI-driven solutions for marketing, analytics, advertising, and commerce. And it enables brands, not just retailers, to make, manage, measure, and monetize great customer experiences across the entire customer journey and life cycle. So, as you can imagine, particularly relevant for retailers. I think there's a few things that we've been doing within the portfolio of products that are interesting and exciting for retailers. Adobe Experience Platform Segment Match is part of our real-time customer data platform. Very popular kind of area of investment for organizations at the moment in terms of customer data management. Segment Match specifically is about allowing brands to collaborate to expand their first-party data sets through partnerships. And this is obviously critically important as we think about some of the things that are happening in the industry around changes in cookie policies, ever sort of more stringent data regulations. Specifically, Segment Match is about using metadata to give better insights into customer behavior and therefore improve personalization. And I think we're trying to solve a number of really kind of key challenges for marketers and for retailers. Internal collaboration, so efficiency for data collaboration among business units of maybe multinationals and CPGs. You can imagine how even those brands find it difficult to actually share information about customers, the joint customers. For brand to brand, so partnering with other brands to actually enrich data that you may have, and then publisher to brand as well. So direct relationships for publishers and advertisers. So just to give an example, a retailer that sells hair products and accessories may partner with a skincare brand to exchange non-sensitive segment data about their matching customers, like the type of hair accessory that a subset of their customers is buying, so that the skincare brand can recommend products for those groups. Critically, this is about non-sensitive customer data, only referenced in the segment match product, and with permission from the joint customer of both of those brands to actually use that data to enhance their overall experience. That leads us on to one of the other key areas of development, the actual delivery of the experience to the end customer. And part of the the mission of the Experience Cloud portfolio of products is about enabling retailers and brands to really take control of the customer journey. And we recently launched a brand new product called Adobe Journey Optimizer, which is about orchestrating conversations with customers from all ends of the spectrum. So batch and blast emails, triggered emails based on things like digital receipts, all the way through to one-to-one based communication that's triggered on behavioral signals and using AI. And the critical thing when organizations are driving any kind of personalization program or personalization activity is producing the content at the right kind of scale and managing the assets that are required. And so the integration between Adobe Journey Optimizer and Adobe Experience Manager Assets Essentials is all about making the management of the experience much easier and the assets that are required. So it's a native integration. It's about providing a simplified user experience for marketing and creative professionals to store, discover, distribute digital assets across teams in a centralized cloud-based workspace. And it also enables them to tap into the power of things like the Adobe Creative Cloud. So obviously the amazing abilities that we're providing companies with to edit and manage assets and images in the Creative Cloud tools, bringing some of that power to the workflows of standard marketing campaign management.
And I wonder, from your perspective, what kind of changes has the pandemic brought to the industry, and how have you seen technology kind of help to overcome that?
Yeah, I mean, the changes have been pretty far-reaching, and I think everyone is still trying to work out what the long-term impacts will be as we come out of the pandemic in many countries in Europe. Certainly, the data that we collect on behalf of our customers shows us some real patterns. We know that individuals will shop online more frequently post-pandemic. We've seen some flips in the way that people think about doing research for products. 29% of buyers research online before visiting, a little bit of a flip in behavior where we might have seen in store and then bought online. We've certainly seen a big growth in the in subscription-based businesses. That leads to the need for an increased focus on data and engagement. We've seen a massive rush of customers into digital channels, some of whom were not digitally savvy or aware of how to use those platforms and channels in the in the pre-pandemic times. The opportunity is there for retailers to really understand those new customers and these new behaviors and use technology to to really inform the strategy and the way that they communicate with customers moving forward. I think that specifically talking about technology, how digital can augment the physical experience is kind of critical for retailers to think about. A really nice example of wine retailers using the fact that now people are stuck at home or more willing to do remote-based wine tasting to actually tap into winemakers in foreign countries who are providing content for those organizations. Bringing the digital in-store, so in-store screens, endless aisles, personalized experiences based on the use of a mobile device when somebody's actually in store, and some of the things that we may have started to take for granted. So real-time stock, obviously, depending on where you are in the world, you may still have to queue to get into a shop, which you might not have done in the past. If you had to queue for a long time, you want to make sure that when you get in, you're actually going to get the product that you want. And then, I guess just, this idea of bringing the channels together, altering your product makeup and mix in store based on the signals from online behavior is something that we've seen brands and retailers do, in the past, but certainly that availability of data is greater than ever to make those kind of changes to the in-store experience.
Well, and what do you see as the technologies that are going to be most important to the future of customer experience in retail?
I think with this massive amount of new customers coming online, the really critical thing for retailers to get their arms around is their data. For many organizations that we're talking to now, not just in retail, customer data is becoming the number one asset. And the future is about creating experiences with the customers, not just advertising to them or creating experiences for them. And data is really the core ingredient for that engagement with the consumer in what is increasingly a digital first economy. I think that's amplified by third-party cookies going away over time. We know that that's, Google has delayed some of the decision there, but it's a matter of, when, not if. So really investing in a first-party data strategy and the technology that will support that and enable you to deliver that is the crucial thing to focus on. Customer data platforms are becoming a must. You need a platform that's going to be able to combine first-party web, app, and media data from interactions like web browsing activity, emails, customer registrations, and that kind of thing. And critically, I guess just to add on that, it needs to be able to provide you with data governance controls and increasingly enable things like AI-powered personalization. So you've got all that data together in a platform. It's useful to have that view of the customer, but if you can't actually take any action or use that insight, then that's obviously a big miss. So that's certainly where I see things going from a technology point of view.
Well, Jamie, thank you. I think you've answered all my questions really comprehensively. Thank you so much for your time. It was great to have you.
Wonderful. Thank you, Will.
Great. And if you've enjoyed this video, please do share on social media and subscribe to our channel as well. This has been William Smith for CX Today. Thanks again to Jamie for his insight, and thank you for watching. Thanks.